Guys, I'm going to take you through a different style of video today. I'm going to show you exactly how I went from the 90 kilo weight class and I managed to drop around 6 kilos in order to make weight in the 82.5 weight class. This was to be more competitive and stand a better chance of winning at British Champs. The main reason I did this is to be more competitive. I was never strong enough to win, or at least place high in the 90 kilo class. I just didn't have the mass behind me. I was against much bigger guys who could lift a lot more weight than I could. So if you're lighter and you lift more weight, then you're a better athlete at the end of the day. You'll win by Wilks. So I was a lot more competitive in the 82.5 weight class, and I stood a lot bigger chance of winning. That's how you should approach your powerlifting meets anyway. If you want to be more competitive on a national or world stage, then that's how you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to train heavy and you're going to have to compete light. But if it's just a qualifier or just a local meet, you can pretty much just weigh in at whatever you weigh normally, hit a PR and be happy and go home. But if you do want to be more competitive in your powerlifting meets, stick around, stay tuned, get yourself comfy as I'm about to show you how I made weight in the 82.5s. Okay, so this is me about 6 or 7 weeks out, and I was 87.8 kilos, which is what I normally train at, maybe a little bit heavier. And as you can see here, this is from the top, this is 3 weeks of prep. So the blue block is 3 weeks out, the red maroony is 2 weeks, and the green is the final week. So in that top week, the week 3, I'm 86.6 kilos, which is okay. I can train at that weight, but from that point, I was slowly just taking the carbs out of my diet, not too drastically, just a little bit, but just watching my diet, trying to eat a little bit cleaner. And I really didn't want to go all the way to the final week and still be weighing around 87 kilos. It's my first cut and I wasn't comfortable, and that's my advice to you. If it's your first cut, I wouldn't try and drop too much weight. You still need to be able to train, and for me, I can't train with no carbs in my diet. So what I did was I just slowly tapered my food. I was still able to train optimally, and I didn't really suffer, to be honest. This wasn't a hard cut. There's one video I took advice from, and that's John Paul Couchy's video on how to water cut. I'll put the link in the description, but he basically goes through the whole process of weighing yourself in the morning, weighing yourself in the evening, finding out the difference between the two, how much you generally weigh at night, and so on. So that's what I did. So that's the first thing you do. Weigh yourself in the morning, weigh yourself in the evening. And for me, I was being careful with my diet. But you don't really have to. If you eat pretty clean anyway, then it shouldn't be much of a problem. But I was trying to save myself a sauna. And I really didn't want to be getting into a fucking Epsom salt bath at 6 in the morning trying to drop 4 pounds or something. I just wanted to save myself that hassle. I did buy Epsom salt, and I was prepared to go into a sauna if I had to, but I really didn't want to. So watching my diet for the last 2 to 3 weeks, weighing myself in the morning, weighing myself in the evening. And what that timeline does is it gives you an idea of how much weight you're actually losing overnight. And so if on the weigh-in day you're still a little bit heavy, you know that you're within reach and distance of making weight, so you don't have to worry so much. Going to bring you over to the second to last week, which was the final week before the deload. And obviously I'm still training at this point. Intensity is at its highest. I'm lifting the heaviest that I can possibly go, but my volume is at its lowest, so I'm not lifting very many sets. I'm not doing very many reps. So I don't need that many carbs. So this was a good opportunity for me to kind of bring the carbs down a little bit, and I dropped from 85 to around the 84 region, which was perfect for me because I was still able to train. I still felt really good. My strength hadn't taken a knock at this point, which was really, really lucky. But yeah, it was just a steady week, being able to train and really just kind of relying on my deload to really, really make some good progress. But I didn't want to drop too much weight in that second week. On to the final week, and this was the deload week. And you can see here I was able to drop from 84 kilos down to my weigh-in weight of 82.1 during this week. Another thing you notice, in the right hand side, in the white column where I had the differences between the morning and the evening, it's the greatest during this week just because of the sheer amount of water that I'm drinking, which is what I'm going to bring you on to now. As soon as I started the deload week, I began to water load. So the first thing I did was I started taking on copious amounts of water. You can see there in the table there, the top line is 4 days, then 3 days, and 2 days, and 1 day. So, yeah, I began drinking 8 litres of water a day, and I ramped my sodium up to 5 grams a day, which is about a teaspoon. But then I also dropped my carbs down to 80 grams. So, yeah, 4 days out, 8 litres of water, 5 grams of sodium, 80 grams of carbs. 3 days out, 8 litres of water, 5 grams of sodium, 50 grams of carbs. And then 2 days out, 8 litres of water, 0 grams of sodium, and then 30 grams of carbs. And this was including things like fruit, bread, anything. I literally counted my macros. Anything above, 30, 50 grams of carbs was a complete no-go. I wasn't taking any chances. So what I did around 24 hours from weigh-in, I completely stripped my carbs. So my last meal was in the morning before weigh-in. I had my breakfast. I had eggs, egg whites. Went to work, and then I didn't eat until weigh-in. So I had a 21-hour fast. Had no sodium, 0 carbs. I had 5 litres of water that day, and then at 4 p.m., which left me about 15 hours from weigh-in, I completely cut my water supply, completely. And yeah, those 24 hours were horrendous. I was so hungry. But believe in the process. And I'm about to show you 24 hours from weigh-in. So I was 83.3 kilos, which was perfect. And then on the day of the weigh-in, again, I wasn't sure what I would weigh, but I was 82.1 and completely saved myself the hassle of a bath or a sauna. And the thing with a sauna is, for a lot of people, if you weigh 2 or 3 kilos heavy in the morning, you can't just step in a sauna and sit there, cut your food and your water, and the water's just going to fall off you. But for me, I've never done it, so I had no idea how long that was going to take me. And the venue was quite far, and I had to be there quite early, so the prospect of having to get up at 5 a.m. to go and find a sauna or sit in a fucking salt bath for however long, which I had no idea how long it would take, I just wasn't up for that. And there you have it. Comfortably made weight. I was actually 400 grams light that morning, and I didn't have to sauna, didn't have to use a salt bath. I just turned up, had no dramas at all, and I wouldn't even change anything for next time. It was only my first one, so I think as you gain more experience, you get to know your body a bit better, and then you can sort of judge whether you should risk, losing a bunch of weight in the morning of the weigh-in for a sauna. That's just going to come over time. So that's the video, guys. I hope I've helped somebody out there who's trying to cut weight for their powerlifting meet. I'll see you in the next video. Peace!
Come on! Fuck it, yes!